Welcome back to Chow Time Pod. It's your host, Red. I got a video today from Desperate Reborn. Please like, comment, subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. Let's get that chow. It's chow time.
So this was a really good question. Do I seriously date people? Do I keep it casual? Am I interested in dating? If so, how is it for me? It sucks. The more notoriety and fame I acquired, it has definitely been harder to tell who wants to date Britney and who wants access to Miss B Nasty.
When as men get status and money, it's hard to tell if they want to be with the man or the lifestyle and money. The exact same way.
Yes, today we venture deep into the corn abyss to study a lost creature that has reached the final stage of 304 ascendants. Like the mythical character Bruce Leroy, she has mastered the uncanny ability to catch money shots in her teeth. My brothers, this is not your regular 10-pump, reverse cowgirl pillow princess. No, sir. This is a dark force of nature to be reckoned with. A woman that has joyfully attempted any sick or dark deed your mind could imagine. If, by chance or fate, you survive an encounter with such an entity and live to recount the tale, let it serve as testimony that the Elohim himself has whisked you from the foul breath of demise. In our noble campaign for free tenderloin distribution, I warn you that some of us may encounter this creature in the wild. Hence, your grace will arm you for such an altercation. Now, if you have resisted the urge to dive under your bed and whimper, we shall continue this essential simulation.
Because I've had incidences where people have lied about knowing who I am. I've had incidences with people, like saying they're cool with what I do, but when it comes time to do the paperwork, they're not. I've had people who didn't like when we went out places, how people would like, oh my God, can I get an autograph? Like, it takes a very special, insecure man to date a corn star.
I mean, let us acknowledge the pink elephant in the room. Somehow, these women who sell their bodies and souls daily feel entitled to kinship, courtship, and marriage. The so-called bar has become a baseboard, and the term secure man has become a derogatory term or a synonym for a man of little or no respect.
Right.
For what man would seriously date a living, breathing blow-up doll?
And there is not a lot of them out there. You think you can date somebody like me, and then you do.
I think that's what happens with a lot of men. A lot of men think they can. A lot of liberal men attempt to, because body count don't matter and all these junk. I respect her and she respects me, blah blah fucking blah. And then they go into it and then they get trashed by society, trashed by other men, and other men are just drooling over their girl because they're a corn star. Most men can't handle that shit, and they're not going to.
Because like I'm not a regular corn star. I would be considered, a well-known one. Like I get asked for autographs and stuff all the time.
That's weird.
It takes a very secure man to handle that.
Each time you engage in the dark art of simping, every time you place a woman on a pedestal so high it brushes the heavens, know this: you are essentially sprinkling metaphorical water on her and transforming her into a full-blown gremlin. Yes, my friend, your idolization is the very magic that fuels the chaos. Case in point.
It really was the Navy. Like, if I have to be completely honest, it was the Navy and then Hooters. Those prepared me for S work. Because in the Navy, I found out that men will do anything for somebody they find conventionally attractive. I never had to lift or do anything. Matter of fact, allegedly, I never had to do a push-up my whole 5 years. I just got a male partner and told him, allegedly, how many I needed to pass. So, I always got...
Are we hearing this now, guys? Women are passing this stuff because they're partnering up with male partners and the male partners do the push-ups for them? What the fuck is going on about this freaking recruitment for women here?
extra food in the galley, If I'm carrying something, oh, do you need me to get that for you? Like, that's when I was like, dang, men will really do it.
I do agree what she's saying, though, that when women join male spaces and male dominated spaces and they're a conventionally attractive woman, they're going to have a quite wonderful, easy time because men are going to be falling over themselves trying to do stupid things for you.
Anything for you when they think you're kind of attractive.
There was a time, my friends, when men held sacred the distinctions between wife, girlfriend, and concubine. It was an unspoken code. Certain acts were reserved for the concubines, the keepers of indulgence, not for the woman entrusted with carrying the royal legacy. These men of old knew better than to blur the lines. The concubines' chambers were a realm of unbridled fantasy, a place where no act was too taboo. After leaving a respectable donation, these women would tend to the third leg of life until it withered into blissful exhaustion. Most importantly, a man could exit this realm without the burden of pillow talk or entangling himself in a cuddle trap.
Oh God, I hate pillow talk and I hate cuddling afterwards, so.
It was a clean transaction, a pleasure without the chains of obligation. But alas, some weak-hearted brethren sought to domesticate this untamable succubus. They tried to convert her from a beast of leisure to a beast of burden, feeding her delusion and empowering the rise of the 304 architect. And so we now suffer the curse of Pandora's let's call it the box of nasty B, a punishment for tampering where we should not. Let this be a lesson. Not all things are meant to be tamed.
But what S work has taught me is that it really showed me that you think you can be everything to your partner, but you cannot. Some things that your partner may be into may just be something they know you're not comfortable with. And that is why they seek out people like me. And back in the day, like when I was with my baby daddy, I felt like him viewing this sort of content was just another way of him cheating on me and not choosing me. But now that I'm on the other side of it, I see, like, if your woman is not into backdoor play and she's communicated that with you, of course you might go seek it out elsewhere. Maybe not in person, but maybe digitally.
True.
Because it's just your thing. And you have to do what you have to do to make sure all your needs and wants are met. Does that make sense?
I can actually agree with
Obviously
this.
not. But if you want her to tell the truth, just let a woman talk. Eventually, she'll snitch on herself. Here, she will admit that she lives the same curse as Medusa, even though she has to bend a knee and kiss the ring of the feminist Cosa Nostra. She will attempt to predict the future of all these young aspiring 304s that are jumping on OF.
I feel like, but also because people swear that I'm justifying this type of work. I would never, hear me when I say this, I would never recommend this as a first job for anybody. The girls that are turning 18 and getting immediately into S work, with the exception of those that are trying to survive, because I do acknowledge and recognize that survival S workers exist, and I'm not here to shame you.
I would say not in the United States. I think in the United States you're able to survive fine without having to go into sex work. In other countries, like Cambodia, no.
One band, one sound. You heard me? We the same. Okay. But I would never recommend this as a first job. I would never recommend anybody getting into this that isn't fully aware of what it's going to take. I'm fortunate. My family accepted this. Honestly, this is not far off from my regular antics. Okay?
So you were for the streets before, and you're for the streets now.
My family is accepting. I don't know a lot of other S workers families that are accepting. there's so many. I do think a lot of times we don't talk about the pros and cons of this. Like, the pro is that I've made it work for me. But the con is if you are darker than me or thicker than me and not considered skinny, it's not going to benefit you the same. You're going to have to work twice as hard as me.
True.
And that's the real and God honest truth. I can give you all the tips and tricks. I can tell you everything I did to get to this level. And then you're going to see some person this color has to do nothing but smile at the camera with some bunny ears on, fully clothed. You know what I'm saying? But as far as the men stuff, like,
I do admit it is very uneven in the dynamic of looks and fans and sex work. There are going to be some women that are just way more attractive than others, and some women will still look.
Obviously, this realm of work wouldn't exist without men, so...
True.
You know. But, yeah. I don't really have too many pros and cons because now I'm on the other side. Before getting into this work, if you would have asked me, I was definitely whorephobic. Now look at me. Can't judge a book by its cover.
But wait a minute. You didn't smash the bell and press the like button. Blast, blast, blast.
You know, these sex workers get told all the time, I'm sure, that you're going to have issues finding a husband. You're going to have issues finding a man that's going to be okay with this. And they completely ignore it. They completely ignore it until they get to the point of, where are all the good men at? And the wall smacked them so hard, they went backwards in looks. Please like, comment, subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. And I'll catch you guys next time. Ciao.